On a pillow. I love that the hips can be supported during a seated meditation. Legs can be in or crossed in various ways. So it's coming into that state of awareness and what yoga calls forth, what creates a better yoga experience. So breathing into the moment. It might be the first time that you've had awareness of breath all day. And so let it be now. In through the nose and out through the nose. Or more out the nose than maybe you might normally do. Keep working the nose as a dominant airflow. Settle into the vibrations or the drums, sounds of your body. Perhaps you are in tune with the heart, the rhythm of the heart organ in the chest. Perhaps feeling that gentle thumping in another area, and for example, the solar plexus, the blood moving through those areas also pulse with the heartbeat. So can you notice any areas besides the chest that pulses with life? You sit here in stillness, breathing. And start to count to yourself the time that you believe is 4 seconds to inhale. Something comfortable, 4, spread out over 4, and then exhaling out over 6. So counting to yourself, inhale 2, 3, 4, and exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and in 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in and out. And in and out. Keep coming back to the awareness of your breath. And the train station of your mind goes off on a thought. We're going to come into a reclined Supta Baddha Konasana mixed with a fish pose or Matsyendrasana. So the option is to have your legs crossed or feet together, and I'm going to do feet together for today. So it's a bound angle, soles of the feet like a prayer coming together. Now, you have a blanket to support the low back, another pillow to support the arch of the lumbar spine, and the head either draping off the back or being supported by another prop is completely optional. So some folks will want to have the head supported, but allowing the curve and flexion of the cervical spine is absolutely appropriate. Allow your arms and palms facing up alongside your body and adjust your clothing. Feel that you're able to completely relax here. And bring your focus into that heart muscle. And with every breath that you take, filling completely and emptying completely as well. And we apply the 4-6 breathing pattern, maybe just in time to distract the mind before it starts planning the weekend or dinner for tonight, or need to have that paperwork completed, etc. Inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 6. And checking in that your mind has a focus, and bring it back around to focus. Create space between the thoughts. Be aware that you're thinking. Just breathe to yourself the next 5 breaths consciously, counting down from 5 to 1. Every exhale complete. Every inhale full. Slowly drawing the knees together, and let's all roll over to one side. You'll gently prop yourself back into seated pose. And we're going to take the counter of that. Your intuition may already be to go into a cat. And so we go into an exaggerated child's pose, which is rounding in the spine, straddling the blanket and pillow combination here, and turning the head to one side. So we're going to take a variation in a while, and I'll let you know if you do have your head to one side, the turning point here. Just beginnings of quieting down into child's pose. We find our friend, the breath. There's a bit of joy in not having to think, or a sense of relief. Just sift and sort through the relief of taking a break, not having to figure it out. And turning your head to the opposite side. Then we're going to turn the head again back. Oh, there we go. Took my little technology off here. We're going to turn the head back around to the opposite side. And variation, we're going to take that leg, whichever leg. And I have a block that I like to slide under the knee. And you may feel the same way to support the knee joint there. And it's just out no more than 90 degrees. 45 is even maybe a little too much towards the back, but you want to have that nice, just on one side, of course. And this can be done on the knees. So rather than being folded up, having the legs fold, the opposite leg folded up, you can be on your left knee. We're also going to add, just let the arms clasp in the back and relax. Or, you know what, even the arms on the floor. I like that even better. Palms facing up. Establish that connection with the breath and how good it is to just simply breathe. That allowing things in your life to have a simple place. This is the simple time. Is so essential. This slow movement and subtle awareness as you sit in stillness and all the things that happen in stillness. So essential to any busy type personalities out there. A couple more breaths here and we'll switch to the other side. I mean, typically that's why people get sick. That's always the comment when you're at work, you know, and so got sick. Oh, they needed it. They needed to slow down. Why do we have to get sick to slow down? Why can't it come in other ways? That we really understand this balancing times. And taking a break from thinking. So here we go. We're going to begin to draw that right leg. Well, in my case, it's the right leg inward. And switch head, switch leg. Falling off here. And making your way back through center, sliding that opposite leg in. And we'll begin to move out of the pose here. So just to pause to sit on the tops of the feet. And may I suggest a block to sit on? Just to pause a moment here. So scooching the feet just ever so slightly to the outer edges right here. So hero's pose. This is not sitting on the feet. If you were to be seated on the feet, that would be more of a thunderbolt. Although, so your feet and heels are touching the buttocks. Here we are in hero's pose or Virkasana. Some of you may feel that you can go all the way to the floor. This is what that looks like. It's not for everyone. It has torque in the knees. But if you're used to it and you have been doing Virkasana, we're just going to stay here for a moment. But if it's your first time, second time, third time, definitely have the block or sit on a blanket or a yoga mat, something like that. So just a couple more breaths here, stretching out the lower knees or the knees. Not that there's upper knees. And taking the opposite of that is going to leave us with a forward fold. So moving all the stuff off the mat, with the exception, actually, if you have tight hamstrings and you're not someone who has straight legs, then you're going to add some support underneath the back of your knees. For those of you who are okay with it, and maybe even more so, you can add a block to your feet as a reminder, or even a strap. We want the toes pointing straight up and also flexing back towards the person. So nice long spine, and inhale, reach, exhale, folding, reaching for those feet. And we'll do a few breaths to lengthen and get the movement of this folding forward. So inhale, just lengthen the spine, slightly looking up halfway, exhale, folding, and you start to feel you're more folding from the hips than the waist. Now once you're there, get comfortable. I'm going to add something for my head. Some folks are going to need to have more cushioning on their lap, maybe not getting near the knees. So find something where you can rest your head. Big pillow, big bolster, etc. Check in with your breath. It's likely noticeably shallow as your chest has lost some real estate. So move around to the back. Move out to your sides of your ribs. Bring your attention out to the sides and your back and expand to make up for what the chest has lost. Keep some integrity in the feet so you can get a nice stretch through the hamstrings, the calves, back of the knees. And if you do have low back pain starting to come in, some friends you will want to add a bend in your knees. So just bend, add a blanket at this time. Take the pressure off any place. No pain.
Notice where your mind is at. Come back around to the breath. Just creating that space again. Space between your thoughts. And start to witness your own personality after a while. And is this the personality you want to perpetuate? Starts to become the question. And you can go down all those avenues for yourself. That yoga, just a simple act of meditative breathing with movement or in static movement. So these last breaths, inhale to lengthen once again and exhale to fold. So we're here in the last minute. And we're going to tempt the digestive tract to continue expelling by adding the twist. So as you come up, taking one foot into the body, nice and close, cross it over that opposite foot. That's an option. That increases. And so you're going to twist toward the knee that you drew in. So I drew my left knee. I'm twisting towards the left. Inhale, extension, exhale, rotation. Couple more breaths right here. Be on the lookout or the awareness of any gurgling, bubbles coming in and through the body. Or some maybe pains in the stomach, or noticing any. We're going to switch sides now. So straightening that opposite leg, we draw in the other leg, cross it over as an option, and then start to lengthen and rotate. So any sensitivities that you start to notice, and I like to pull my ribs as well, any sensitivities you're noticing, pressure points in the abdomen, all of that relating to the visceral organs and the digestive composite of the glands. And you've got so much going on when you're transferring energy, food into energy and waste. So many functions that the organs complete. Inhale, extension, and exhale, rotation. Just a couple more breaths right here. I'm going to sit into every pose that we have in this class today. Coming back through to center, and we're going to move into our pigeon poses. So they're going to start without being a traditional pigeon. It's all going to start out in a deer pose or square legs pose. So you've got 90-degree angles in both of your legs, and I'll give you the signal at the halfway point to move into your pigeon pose, or swan. Sometimes it's called swan pose. But let's have nice flexed feet and some good space in the knees. Now some folks are going to want to twist over to the side, and that's perfectly fine. And some folks will be straight over the shin bone, somewhere like that. All of that is appropriate. So And so at this time, you have the option to stay right where you are, or straighten, side leg completely back. Now, as you straighten back, you have some variations. Generally, you want to equalize your weight from left to right, massaging the hips deeper, extending on the right, flexing on the left there, but more extension. Let's see here. So likely you've had some time to go through different places with your mind and practicing awareness. What did you notice? Where was your mind? What were you thinking about? And let's get back to the practicing the breath, being the 4 and 6, right? It's just inhaling 4, exhaling 6. Not much going on with breath. It's not fireworks, but it's something that over time, a state of mindfulness, you start to look forward to it. You start to understand that slowing down is the reward. The feelings to the very nth. The sensory organs are in full awareness. We'll start to move a little to come up into the pose. Reversing the way we came into it, and then option for down dog. Down dog or tabletop stretch. All right, so 3-legged table, a 4-legged dog or a 3-legged dog. Another option. Be sure your socks are not slipping and your head is dangling. So knot it a couple times, and then hang out as long as you like. Inversion. And we'll reverse coming into the pigeon pose on the opposite side. So in my case, the right shin is at the top of the mat, left shin. Lots of space here. Just a few more breaths here in this deer pose before we move into the traditional pigeon or swan, sometimes it's called. Just anticipating a full stretch where we'll be taking the left leg back, extending the hip there. So when you're ready, top leg stays just nearly the same. We take that left leg back. And there's no hurry here. Take your time. There's no rush. There's no race. There's no prize for going quickly. And you cannot steal time. Things take time. Changes in life, changes in your body, health, things that went out of health. It took time for those to develop. So anything that's in your life, contemplate quality of time necessary. You don't want to rush. Honoring the process, enjoying the process. It's funny, I know I'm thinking when I drum my fingers. Does anybody drum their fingers when they think? A lot of things the body does. One of the crucial ones that is detrimental is shallow breathing. So there's all these things, the itchy leg syndrome, or somebody who's doing the tapping, thinking, while the body does some little interesting dances with that. But generally, the shallow breathing goes with all of that. So I'm going to enjoy about another minute here. And let yourself completely go. We'll begin to thrive by coming out of the pose and once again a down dog or a tabletop variation. I'm pausing for a moment to come onto your back. Oh, good, okay. Hugging the knees into your body. Massaging the spine here. And if you have any lights that you can dim, or just making the room a little more cozy for yourself, do that. tugging in just a little while longer here. Again, feel or sense any of those gurgles and bubbles from the lower body. And then placing the feet on the floor. And we're going to take both legs over to one side. It's a nice spinal twist. Nice and easy. And just a variation, if you have your knees here, cross your right ankle over your left or your right foot over your left foot. And then take your leg straight out to the side. This has a slightly more intense, the side body with that ankle crossing. And then begin to draw the knees inward, placing the feet out on the floor, and now over to the other side. I like to have my palms facing down because the fingertips can bring in senses from that texture, the floor, keeps me present, keeps me grounded, keeps reminding me to be in this moment. Stay in communication with your body. And so if it feels right, we're going to cross now the left ankle over the right ankle, or the left foot over the right, and we take the leg straight over to the left. So we get to the end of class, and you may have your mind now at the forward movement where you're going to be once class ends. But I encourage you to stay with me. Stay till the very end with your awareness and concentration. It is a practice to concentrate on being present. So that's why I say it over and over. And we talk about breath. Just a few more breaths here in this pose. And it's not the most fun or entertaining things to think about, but the point being to singularize and practice the focus of the mind. And it's so essential, the qualities that breath brings us. Start to bring those knees in and placing the feet on the floor, getting ready for a nice shavasana. So you can go back into a child's pose should you feel you need that, legs up the wall, or simply spreading out into that traditional shavasana. And while I serenade you with some live music here, so again, dimming the room where you are, or perhaps taking a lavender infused cloth over your head, over your eyes, over your head too if you like. And bring to mind the state of tranquility. Find the most tranquil part of your body right now. Where is the most relaxed part? So breathe into that relaxed part. And allow that relaxation of that area of your body to train or to inspire the next portion of your body. And that beautiful relaxation begins to spread all through your body. And so bringing a little bit of movement into your body. You fortify once again your life with yoga and the practice of awareness. So that great uplifter within yourself, that heart energy that you want so dearly to share, that highest part of yourself to share with the world. Yoga allows you to be at your best. So taking care of yourself is essential before offering help to the world, because you are of no value unless you've taken care of yourself first. It's just that way. So thank you for joining me on this journey and continuing with me on this journey. It's so amazing to watch this blossom. I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful night, everyone, and we'll do a chant with the vocal cords for the Om. It's an Ah, O, Mm. And so take those vibrations into your body and out to the world, allowing your breath to rise inside. Ah.